I walked into a small building just outside of the homestay without really knowing what I was about to do. They asked me if I wanted to participate in a spa treatment. So I said, sure, why not? And then I really just didn't know what to expect. My translator, Joanna, and I were taken into rooms next to each other, and I was led into a bamboo lined space with a deep soaking tub already filled and waiting. I was told that I would sit in the herbal bath for a set amount of time and then take my body out for the same amount of time and then repeat the cycle a few times. I was also given tea and just asked to keep drinking it. Then it went quiet. I wasn't on my phone, but I kept fidgeting, shifting my towel, wondering how much time had passed, and feeling ready to be done before I was actually done. And it wasn't because I wasn't enjoying the moment, but it was more because my body felt like it should be moving, it should be doing something. Sitting with my thoughts for that long took a lot more effort than I expected. This experience happened during my stay at Yinxing Guli Homestay in Changxing County in China, where I spent time talking with the owner, Zhou Junbei. Throughout the conversation, Joanna translates so you can hear Miss Zhou Junbei's story in her own words.
Everyone has a story to tell. We connect and relate to one another when we share our stories. My name is Amelia Old, and I am your host of Voices of Inspiration. Join me as I share stories of friends, family, and strangers from my everyday life and travels. You will laugh, possibly cry, or walk away feeling connected more than ever to those around you and ready to be the change our world needs. Everyone has a story to tell. What's yours?
I'm Amelia Old, and this is Voices of Inspiration. Changxing County sits in northern Zhejiang, close to the Jiangsu border. It's not the part of China most travelers picture first, but it's known inside the country for one thing in particular: ginkgo trees. Changxing is known for the ginkgo corridor that runs through this part of the county. The park stretches for more than 12 kilometers through the valley and includes tens and thousands of ginkgo trees. Many of them are already hundreds of years old. In autumn, people come here specifically to walk the corridor and spend time in the surrounding villages. There are small hotels and homestays scattered through the nearby towns, including the place where this conversation took place. This homestay is called Yinxing Guli. Yinxing means ginkgo. Guli means hometown.
Her name is Zhou Junbei. She is the owner of this place. It's the hometown of the ancient ginkgo tree. Yeah, she has two homestays, and this one, she's the owner of this one, the ancient hometown of the ginkgo tree. And nearby, there is another homestay. Yeah.
When people from other countries come to America, they always talk about how excited that they were because they saw it on TV and the movies. And so they thought that going to the States was like in a story, in a film. And I wanted you to know, being here, I had that same feeling. And when I walk into your rooms and see the curtains open and see the surroundings, I asked myself out loud, is this real life? Am I really living here?
非常感谢你对我们中国的认可啊。
First of all, thank you for your sharing your feeling. And, actually, she has been working here for 10 years to do this business for 10 years from the city. Nowadays, the Chinese villagers are much more richer than what we expected than before. When you walk in the countryside, you see the village is so clean. Yeah, right. And people are always smiling, and they are doing very well, actually, very happy, very lucky, very happy. And so nowadays, the village life is totally different from maybe 20 years ago or 30 years ago. She spent a lot of time here. One half is working and one half is to living an, happy life.
What first inspired you to open your homestay here among these ancient trees? What connection do you feel personally to this particular area?
你有没有觉得就是说我起的名字叫银杏故里啊？那我是当时是因为
Before she started this business homestay, actually, she was doing the tea industry, the tea, making tea and selling tea, and but she always had a heart or affection of the hometown. We know this is a kind of homesickness or something like that. It's kind of feelings, and she chose the name of Guli. In Chinese, literally means hometown, to be the name of the tea brand. About 10 years ago, she always had a dream of owning her homestay. And her elder sister asked her, well, don't you want you operating a homestay? Well, I have a villa available for you, and then you can do that. And then she started this business. Actually, this house belongs to her elder sister. After building up this house, this villa, and she asked a lot of teachers or professionals to ask for the name of this homestay. And she got more than 10 names. She felt she was not satisfied with these names and always had a deep heart in hometown, the Guli, and then say, wow, since my homestay just located in this area, and this area is famous for the ancient Ginkgo trees, the hometown of the Ginkgo tree. Why not just call my homestay homestay of Ginkgo tree? That's the name, Yinxing Guli. But actually, that's the story 10 years ago. And then when the government wants to choose a name and rename this part of the scenic spot, and the government said, wow, you used the hometown of the Ginkgo tree. That's what we want to call this place. So that's an interesting story, I think. The hometown. Yeah.
I love that. What values or traditions from your own upbringing, your own life, maybe even as a child, have you tried to bring into the homestay?
这个肯定是有的，因为我们家应该是书香门第吧啊。
First of all, I was born in a very well-educated family, and my father now was a painter. Is a painter. He was an artist. Yeah, and so when I grew up in such family, I think I was also have the good taste for the beauty, for the art. Yeah, that's the one thing. And the second thing, also when I grew up with my parents, my family tells me how to treat people, how to treat your neighborhood. Yeah, that's another thing. And the third thing, I want to say the Ginkgo tree. You know, the Ginkgo tree in Chinese culture, it's a symbol of longevity. You know, in this corridor, this is the 10 miles of the Ginkgo tree corridor. Here there are totally more than 30,000 Ginkgo trees. And among these, there are more than 2,400 Ginkgo trees, which were 100 years, more than 100 years. We also see, the king of the Ginkgo tree, 1,300 years old, and another queen of Ginkgo tree, also 1,200 years. So the Ginkgo trees are the symbol of the longevity. You can live long. It's kind of sustainable development, I think. And also it's an energy. It's a power from the life. I am strong woman. And once I met some problems or questions, I say, no, I must to solve it. I won't be afraid of any challenges or questions or difficulties. That's the suit of cake. That's a piece of cake. I can conquer it. I'm a strong woman, just like the ginkgo tree.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like I can relate to that a great deal in my own life. So I love that. I want to take a moment for a quick break. We'll be right back. Today's episode is supported by China Eastern Airlines. They offer 3 nonstop routes from the United States to Shanghai Pudong, which is how I traveled while working on this series. China Eastern is headquartered in Shanghai and is one of China's major international carriers. The airline operates 108 domestic and overseas branches worldwide and serves destinations across China, Asia, Europe, and other global regions. They're also a member of the SkyTeam Alliance, partnering with airlines such as Delta and allowing SkyMiles members to earn and use miles across participating carriers. On international flights, China Eastern offers 3 cabins of service: first-class suites, business class, and economy. Long-haul routes include entertainment screens and Wi-Fi is available for purchase. If you're planning travel to Shanghai or exploring future international trips, you can find current schedules and booking information on the China Eastern Airlines website, which I'll link in the notes of this episode. Can you tell me what a visitor can expect when they come here? I was very fortunate, lucky that I was able to experience some of this today with the spa treatments. So can you just explain just a little bit of what a visitor can experience when they are here?
来的游客的话哈，他们就是说像我们带给他们什么样的体验，就是说，比如说我们打个比方，就是说
For
我
the
们这个料理
facilities or for the design, actually, our homestay is not the best one, I think, because there are so many modern homestays around here nowadays, more and more, right? We try to offer different kinds of experience to the customers, to our guests, in different seasons. For example, in October, in autumn, just now, we experienced such kind of herbal bath, right? And a kind of Chinese traditional medicine therapy. This is especially popular in winter and in autumn. And in spring, the guest can experience the tea picking, and climbing to the tea mountain, and they can learn how to make the tea very traditional way. So in different seasons, there are different kinds of experienced activities. You know, there is a saying in China, or we often say, a person or a human being in this life, the experience is very, very important. Just take my son, for example. He used to work in the state-owned company, and then I asked him to quit the job and to join my homestay operation. I said, wow, you have experienced what kind of working style in the company, and then come back, join with me and help me with the operation. Yes, that's a kind of another experience, right? So I try to offer the experience. The experience is very, very important, I think.
I think that experiences are very important. My children, for their Christmas gift, their main gift is not something that's material that they can toss to the side. It's a gift of an experience, and each child gets their own experience that they share with their father and I, that we do with them. So it could be concert or going on a weekend trip just with my husband and I, so we feel very strongly about experiences because those create memories and those stay with you far longer than some toy or technology piece that will be tossed to the side in a couple of months. Is there a moment or a guest story that you've had over the last few years, since the beginning, that has reminded you or stopped you in your tracks to make you feel this is a reminder of why I'm doing this. This is why it's my purpose to be here in this moment.
这个怎么说呢？哈，我觉得就是说，呃，在这个做民宿的过程当中啊，我觉得就是说，应该说是
I
说有一
always
个
hold
像
an attitude that is, I will live happy and healthy. Live happy and healthy. And also, I hope I can offer such kind of attitude to my guests. And I hope everyone who comes to my homestay can live happy and healthy. I have a strong belief that I always treat everyone who comes to my homestay as their family member, just like today's dinner. Before the dinner, I ask you, which one do you prefer? Do you want to treat you single or for a special dinner, or just invite you to come our table meal? Yes. And at that time you said, we want to join to the table meal. That's how you see, right? What you see, a big table, all of the staff and co-workers come together. We just sit there. It's not some formal meal. No, it's not formal. It's just like the normal family dinner. Yeah, with all the people sit here and eat the delicious food and talk and communicate. One time, a couple just lived in my homestay, and the husband just go out to go climbing, and the women just live here. And when I saw her, I see there are a lot of the red skin on her necks, and the women just said, "Wow, I don't feel comfortable. Maybe because last night I ate something wrong." And then when I saw this, I said, "No, you must go to the hospital. Maybe there's a kind of allergy." And she said, "Oh, it doesn't matter when my husband come back, and then I will go." And I insisted on that. No, you must go there, and I can send you to the hospital. And so I drive her to the hospital, maybe 15 minutes. And when we arrived at hospital, it is hard for her to breathe. Maybe there is something wrong with the throat because the strong effect of the allergy. So the doctor said, "Well, you are so lucky because you come to hospital immediately." Yeah. So after that, this is an accident. Yeah. After that, the man thanks me so much because he said, "Well, you saved my wife's life."
Wow.
Yeah. And after when they come back to hometown, because they lived in a coastal city, they sent me 2 boxes of the seafood for appreciation. Yeah, very grateful.
That's very nice. Well, finally, I just want to say thank you so much for having me here. This has been such a special treat, and I can't wait to return with my own family. I think something special about traveling, and you mentioned that you come from a well-educated family, and so I assume that you've been able to travel or at least meet people from around the world, especially here with your homestay. And one thing is the same no matter the language, and we're all human, and just trying to create our own best lives. And I love that when we're brought together in a way like this, even at dinner tonight, I thought that was very special. And so I'm very grateful for you welcoming me into your home. So thank you for that. And so the last question, I ask everyone this question is, do you have a favorite quote or phrase or any words of wisdom that you would like to leave with our viewers?
我应该是不大看这种名人名句啊，但是呢，我有自己的做事方式。
Actually, I don't have any specific words or phrases learned from books or some big guy or somebody. Yeah. I always follow my heart. I always follow my heart. And if you want me to say something that I may want to share my attitude, be honest to others and do everything well. And also treat others kindly.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
这也是他一直想要寻求、想要去追求的目标。
That's what I meant by words of wisdom, how you live every day. So that's exactly the type of answer that I was seeking. And I always ask everyone that because I think you learn something from hearing every single person's answer. Everyone has something different. So I love that. I don't follow a big guy or
他也没有这种从某个大咖呀或者名人那边学习。You're the same.
yeah. So
我也有朋友一套一套的讲出来的都是名言名句。我有一个朋友，他就是一讲就是佛教怎么说，然后谁怎么说，然后应该怎么做人，怎么做事哈。我说我不知道应该怎么做人，怎么做，反正我怎么想就怎么做。
She said one of her friends always quotes the big words from Buddha, from different big guys, and she said, "No, I don't have such words. I just follow my heart."
I follow lots of big guys and big girls and whoever is inspirational. Yeah. So thank you so much for taking time to talk to me tonight and again for welcoming me here. I'm very, very grateful.
再次感谢您今天接受采访，还有这么盛情的款待。I just treat you as my family member. Yeah.
Thank you. What I experienced that afternoon ended up being one of the most unexpected parts of the trip. The herbal tea bath came first, and the water was really dark from the roots and leaves steeped into it. And as I mentioned, I was told to sit in it for a set amount of time and then step out for the exact same amount of time and just repeat that cycle a few times. It was like being in a really unique hot tub. It did feel good and relaxing, but the problem that I struggled with was everything that was happening in my head. I kept shifting the towel and wondering how much time had passed and wondering if I was doing it right. Am I supposed to be in the water or out of the water? You know, how many rounds am I supposed to do? And I also caught myself wanting to just speed the whole thing up, but not because I wasn't enjoying it. It was just because I could not shut my mind down. And that's something that I struggle with on a daily basis back at home. After that, we did something that I have never done before called moxibustion. It's heated mugwort, which is held close to the skin. And it's like a big gourd that was put on my back. And it was really relaxing. And I actually almost fell asleep during this process. I was actually able to shut my mind down or slow my mind down to enjoy this moment. It was really interesting because it was really heavy on my back to start with, but then it was weightless and I could feel where the heat was traveling. And I realized I started paying attention to my body in a way I almost never do at home. It didn't feel like a treatment. It felt like I was being asked to stay present longer than I'm comfortable with. What stayed with me from that day wasn't anything that I could list on paper. It was this strange relief of realizing there was nothing else that I needed to do in that moment. No one was waiting on me. No one was asking anything of me. I was being checked on from time to time, but mostly I was left alone with my thoughts, noticing how often my mind reached for the next task before the one I was even in had even finished. It made me think about how many hours I spend reacting, replying, adjusting, moving forward, instead of just letting myself stay put for a while. And I think that we all struggle with that from time to time. During my time there, Jojunbei also showed me around the little village as well. We walked over to see the bakery her son is in the process of opening, and later she brought me to another homestay she owns nearby. It was raining that day, and she insisted on holding the umbrella over my head the entire walk. I wanted to take it from her with Joanna translating, telling her that my mother would want the roles reversed, but she wouldn't let me. That's what my time there was like. There are a lot of small gestures, a lot of smiling and hugging among her and her staff, and it made me feel less like a guest and more like I belonged there. Mr. Junbei's photographer captured photos from my time there, and I am sharing those along with my own footage. So if you are watching the YouTube version of this episode, you'll be able to see those there. After we finished recording, I wasn't thinking about the quote. Earlier that day, sitting in that tub longer than I wanted to, I kept noticing how hard it was for me to slow down. And she hadn't mentioned Buddha or a god or a famous author. She talked about being honest with people, doing her work carefully, treating others with kindness. This was something that was personal and not something memorized. And listening to her throughout the interview made the struggle that I had make sense. And somehow that said more than anything that could have been scripted. If this story stayed with you, I hope you'll pass it along to someone who might need a reminder to slow down. If you're listening in a podcast app, taking a moment to rate and review Voices of Inspiration really does help more people find these stories. You can find more episodes at voicesofinspirationpodcast.com, sign up for my newsletter at ameliaold.com, and I'll be sharing photos and videos from this visit at Amelia Old Official on social media.